So give me 50 grams walnuts. Cheap, cheap, cheap. A good deal, not cheap.
You nomads, you really do have a good nose for business. All right, then, please get...
Hello.
Ha ha! Kunuk mak, Miss Catawalk. Like collect souvenirs?
Well, that sculpture there.
Ha ha! Kilak. That great spirit, very bad, Miss Catwalk. Evil monster of water in Great Lake.
Oh, I see. It's a representation of a local legend.
Haha, not legend, Miss Catwalk. Kilak, very great, very bad. Live at bottom of lake.
If the monster really existed, wouldn't he have attacked your ostriches when you tried to cross the lake to continue your journey?
Youkols always cross in day. Kilak not like day and light. Always when lake frozen. Kilak not be able to cross ice to eat ostriches then. But now, lake still not frozen. Ostrich is impatient. Not good, not good.
So, how's business?
Tuk tuk. No more client tourists here. No more like Youkols in Valsembor. Not good for business.
Why don't they like you here?
Youkols stuck staying too long in Valsembor. Not good. Must leave fast.
One of you repaired a key to help me escape the clinic. Was it you?
No. Smith, over there.
Kirk being gone so long really has you worried, doesn't it?
Kurk, sacred guide. No guide, so not great journey. Miss Getwalt comes with news about Kirk.
His treatment is weakening him, but he was fine when I left.
Ah, Kirk come back very fast. Or not good.
Goodbye, and thank you for all the information.
Okay, Miss Getwalk. Bye-bye.
This forge is magnificent. Hello.
Look, Muck, Miss Catwalk. Need something from Forge?
Well, yes, I do. I need a stamp that has the same shape as the Valsembor seal and that I can use with the press at the camp gate.
Complicated. Need model. Tuk tuk. You have that, Miss Catwalk? Miss Catwalk, bring much junk for Smith? Tra, complicated. Smith also need wax for mold. Good junk. Stamp ready and not long time.
Nothing useful here. Stamps. But not one is the right shape, of course. Nothing useful here. Only the stamp is missing. How practical. Only the stamp is missing. How practical. There's a shape ingrained in the leather.
Hello, Miss Walker. Very happy to finally catch up with you.
Mr. Canton, what on earth do you want?
To take you back home, whether you like it or not. Come on, give me your hands, please.
Mr. Canton, I don't know how much the people who hired you promised for delivering me to them. But if it's only a question of money, maybe...
Stop right there, Miss Walker. You're being a tad insulting. Listen, my professional integrity has never been in doubt in over 20 years of work. Come on, wrists out. Mr. Marson? Finally, I have her. Yes, she is safe and sound. I have Miss Walker under control. I'll keep you informed of our progress. It'll take a day or two at most. I suppose there are a few procedural obstacles to overcome before we can leave the country.
Listen, all these things I'm accused of are completely untrue. Hans's murder, embezzlement, it's nonsense. And while we're wasting time here, I can't help the Youkols. And believe me, they really need it.
I am not your enemy, Miss Walker. If you haven't done anything like you say, it's in your interest to go back and defend yourself in court. There's nothing left for you to do here anyway. Not everyone here is your friend in these parts, I'm afraid.
Well, all right, Mr. Canton. You win.
I'm glad you're finally being reasonable, Miss Walker. Now we just need to wait for the representative of the regional military authorities for the administrative procedures. I don't think it'll take long to get our papers, so we can leave this place then.
How long do we have to wait? I've been through a lot over the last few months, you know. I'm recuperating. I'm still a bit weak.
Well, it could take a few hours at the outside.
Would you mind bringing me a glass of water? I don't feel too well. I feel a bit dizzy.
I'd have to leave you here in the meantime. I'm not sure that...
Please, Mr. Canton. I really think I'm going to faint.
Don't worry, Miss Walker. I'll see what I can do. But don't move.
Quick! I have to get free and get out of here while Canton is busy. That's no use to me. It didn't break. God, I need to find something else. Free at last. All right, let's get out of here before Canton comes back.
Miss Walker! No, wait! I have an arrest warrant for this woman. Arrest her! Oh! My pass! Give it back to me! Immediately, you hear?
My squid is absolutely fresh, miss. Listen, miss, it's fresh.
there. Anything biting?
As if. 20 years there's been fewer fish, but sometimes you can get lucky. Go figure. It's really odd.
You seem to know the region well. Maybe you can fill me in a bit. I'd like to know a little bit more about the local legend. I was told that there's a monster down there, living at the bottom of the lake.
It's not a legend.
And how can you be so sure?
Back when, the lake froze over earlier in the season. People would go out and make holes in the ice in the middle of the lake, then fish like that. Sometimes they would even set up these cabins for the winter next to the hole. The old folk always said you should only cut a small hole, just wide enough so the fish could be pulled through when you landed them. No more than that. One day, this guy who was kind of odd cut a really big hole. To make it easier, he said. In case he caught a really big one. You don't have to believe me, but he's the one who went into the hole. Backwards. Into the depths. In less time than it takes to say it, the monster's arm came through the hole, then dragged the poor guy down to the bottom of the lake. That's why the old folks say never make a big hole in the ice, because of the monster that lurks below.
And how do you know all that?
Because the poor guy was my older brother. And I was fishing just next to him that day. So you think what you want. You have a good day, miss.
Since the town hall closed the port, we sometimes get the impression we're living in a ghost town.
Are you okay, sir? One more step and you were in the drink.
E-N-O.
Pardon?
It's me, Captain Obo. Obo! Proud commander of the just as proud Krystal. So don't you, sir, me.
Well, delighted. Captain, I'm Kate Walker. I'm looking for Steiners, the clockmaker.
If I fall in the water, Taylor, it'll be to go straight to hell. So don't fall in the water, Sailor. You understand? Bastard's waiting for me.
Who are you talking about?
The monster of the lake is waiting for us all, miss. Everyone's time comes eventually. To finish the work. Come on, back in the fight. Because you can never lower your guard. Never.
As deserted as the outside. Hello? Anyone here? Given the number of seats, this must be some kind of ferry, some kind of transport. It looks like it needs repairs. Too bad. Tavern.
I'd rather be left here on my own if you don't mind, miss.
Someone stole 3 chickens last night.
Ah, miss, delighted to see that you finally managed to leave the Youkol camp.
Yes, thank you very much for the pass.
Well, now that you're at last here, you'll be able to taste my famous borscht.
It would be my pleasure, but I do have to find Steiner the clockmaker right away.
Simon Steiner? Ah, in that case, you should speak with Sarah, our young waitress. She's his granddaughter.
Is Simon Steiner well known here in Valsembor?
For a long time, he was rather popular. You know, he isn't just a clockmaker. He knows everything about mechanical objects. He repaired everything for everybody here in Valsembor. He also designed the amusement park on the other side of the lake with a colleague of his, a French automaton creator, if I remember. You could say Valsembor owes a lot to Simon Steiner, miss. So when he got sick, I offered to hire Sarah to help a little. You understand?
I met that man recently. A certain Captain Obo. He doesn't seem very with it.
And he's been that way for 20 years, miss. 20 years. Can you imagine? He used to command the Krystal, the boat that made the crossing between here and the amusement park, on the other side of the lake. And he wasn't the same man then.
How are things in town? They don't seem to be going that well.
If you ask me, the atmosphere is horrible. At least half the people don't want the Youkols right at our door. Most of the shopkeepers even made the decision to go on strike over what they saw as unfair competition. Also, Valsembor hasn't been the same in the last 20 years. There it is.
I'm off. Thank you again for your help.
See you soon, miss.
Excuse me, please, miss.
Yes?
I'm looking for Simon Steiners.
Simon Steiner is my grandfather. My name is Sarah. Sarah Steiner.
Pleased to meet you, Sarah. I'm Kate Walker. Can you tell me where I can find your grandfather's workshop?
Of course. You'll find his shop is at the end of the alleyway, on the left, just as you leave it, in the main avenue. Can I ask what you want with him? Because he's rather old, you know.
I'm accompanying the Youkol caravan. Apparently your grandfather is supposed to be making a mechanical prosthesis for Kirk, their spiritual chief, who had a bad accident recently. Without the artificial leg, Kirk won't be able to go along with the great migration of his people. And on top of that, the Youkols won't leave without their guide.
You're accompanying the Youkols? My God, you're so terribly lucky. When I was little, Grandfather used to tell me all about their adventures, full of mystery and magic.
You seem to like the Youkols, Sarah. I get the impression that's rare in Valsembor.
It's true that when it comes to the Youkols, people around here can be a bit silly. They go out of their way to make the nomads scapegoats for all of the town's problems since they got stuck here.
But you don't, do you?
Of course not. Grandfather told me that he has actually seen 3 or 4 of the great ostrich migrations in his lifetime, and he always really respected those strange people. He even made sure I would admire them too, you know.
I guess you're pretty close to your grandfather?
Yes. Of course he can get a bit grumpy, especially the last few years, but he's actually really adorable, and you should see the work he does. Give him a few cogs and springs, and he'll give you some unbelievably incredible invention. He almost makes mechanical objects seem alive.
I see exactly what you mean. I used to know someone like that too.
The only problem we have is that business collapsed when he got sick. I really do believe that if I didn't have the waitressing jobs to make ends meet, we'd probably have to close up shop.
Do you like life in Valsembor?
Oh, there's really not that much to talk about here, you know. I spend all my time here or with Grandfather since he got sick.
There was no one who could keep an eye on him for you?
We can't afford it, I'm afraid. I also think I prefer it this way. My grandfather is my only family.
Thank you for your help.
I'll be stopping in to see Grandfather on my next break. Maybe I'll see you there.
Yes, I hope so. Goodbye, Sarah. Steiner. Hello. Are you Mr. Steiner? I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Steiner. My name is Kate Walker, and I've come to pick up the prosthesis for Kirk, the Youkol spiritual guide.
And well, dear Miss Walker, Dr. Efimova has informed me that the young man was not yet in any sort of condition to withstand the operation, and that...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
It is impossible. That pendant you have around your neck. I would be very obliged if you would entrust me with it for a moment. Please, Miss Walker. Mein Gott! An XZ-2000 automaton heart in perfect working condition! A compensating spring memory, pendulum ventricles, and small mechanical pumps. Everything seems in excellent condition. Donnerwetter! Where on earth did you steal this, Miss Walker?
I did not steal it. It's a souvenir. It's all I have left of Oscar. A very dear friend.
Ah, so. And yet I am actually very familiar with this type of precision mechanism. An infernal precision. Incredible, unique expertise. For this was a Vorarlberg automaton, Miss Walker.
Yes. It was Hans Vorarlberg who designed this object. Tell me, did you know him?
Oh, yeah. He even lived here a few years. We did a lot of work together. He taught me so many different things, you know. So it is useless to try and make up silly stories, Miss Walker. And I am afraid that I am not about to allow you to leave here as long as you have not told me the truth about where this object comes from.
Oh, don't bother locking me in, Mr. Steiner. If you must know, the truth is that Hans Vorarlberg was someone who was very important to me. I accompanied him on a very strange journey throughout Europe. And that object in your hand is the only souvenir I have of that adventure.
That proves nothing, Himmelherrgott! Hans would never have given this to...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
My heart... need... my medication! Quickly!
Just don't move. I'll go and get your medication right away. No medication in sight. Empty.
Make yourself right at home. Don't mind me. I just own the place.
There's no point. Nothing that could help him. That could do him more harm than good. No medication. No way. Nothing that could help him. That could do him more harm than good. No medication. All that clattering must get really tiring after a while.
My heart. I need my medication. Quickly. Thank you for your precious help, my dearest Miss Walker. I'm afraid I may have judged you somewhat hastily.
Don't mention it, Mr. Steiner. Tell me about the prosthesis. I need to take it back to Kirk very quickly, if, of course, you agree to let me have it.
Yeah. I just have a few small adjustments to make. It involves very precise and meticulous mechanics, understand?
Will it take long? I'm sorry to insist, but I also have to give a hand to those unfortunate Youkols. I need to help them get across the lake with their herd of ostriches. I'm so worried about them.
Once the mechanical leg is at last ready, I can go to the clinic and bring back young Kirk to you. That way you only have to worry about what happens to the other Youkols.
That's so nice of you, Mr. Steiner. But why are you doing this?
I wasn't extremely nice to you earlier. And also the way the Youkols are treated by the other townsfolk here in my own town disgusts me. So I want to help those poor devils, even if I am in no way absolutely certain they should be crossing the lake.
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Steiner?
The next stage of your journey is the poor cursed town of Baranour. It has become hell on earth since the time of the last great ostrich migration.
Please join me downstairs for a moment, Miss Walker. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Look just next to the films there, Miss Walker. You should find a film on Baranour.
Baranour, the cursed city. Baranour, the martyred town. Baranour has been nothing but a field of ruins and desolation since a week after the explosion of reactor number 3 in the nuclear power plant. Valsembor is on the other side of the lake, sheltered from the prevailing winds, and fortunately it seems to have been spared from the deadly radioactive clouds. Our town was mobilized to go to the aid of our neighbors. Although our town's means were modest when compared to such a catastrophe, there were nonetheless among us some brilliant mechanical engineers. In record time, they developed a small army of automatons capable of helping the affected people. Those men and dogs of steel could go where a human could no longer set foot without becoming seriously ill. Over there, they could be excavators, rescue workers, and treasure bearers.
Oscar! They all look like him.
Truly magnificent pieces, Nishtvar. The XZ2000 model is most assuredly one of Hans's major masterpieces.
Their mission was to bring back any survivors of the catastrophe to Valsembor, where the victims would receive the best care in Dr. Zemyutin's clinic. The Krystal, the ferry usually responsible for linking the towns of Valsembor and Baranour every day, carried the new type of rescuers to the scene of the drama and brought back the survivors of the catastrophe.
So Baranour suffered the ravages of a nuclear accident. But according to that film, the automatons you designed with Hans should have helped save lots of lives, right?
I'm afraid that's not how things went. Because of Captain Obo, who Ah, that must be Sarah. Please come this way, Miss Walker. I'll introduce you.
Kirk's prosthesis. But it looks like it isn't finished. Tools that would have suited Hans. Fantastic!
Miss Walker, may I introduce you to Sarah, my granddaughter?
We've actually already met. Haven't we, Sarah?
I actually owe Miss Walker a candle. Thanks to her calmness and peace of mind, I'm still here and on my feet. She found my medication and gave it to me before it was too late. Donnerwetter.
You don't mean you had another attack, do you? Ah, you're being so very naughty, grandfather. You absolutely must let Dr. Zamiatine examine you.
Come on, stay calm, my little child. When I go to the clinic to take the prosthesis to the young Youkol, I'll stop by and see the good doctor. Until then, why don't you make yourself really useful to Miss Walker? She's looking for some way to transport the Youkol caravan to the other side of the lake.
Well, I think I've already found the solution. The boat in the film, the Krystal, it must be the ship that's docked in the port. If it was able to transport the automatons you and Hans built, it could carry the ostriches across the lake.
Ah, that's not a bad idea. But unfortunately, there's a slight problem of size, dear Miss Walker.
What on earth do you mean?
Obo became a poor wreck when he simply abandoned our automatons in Baranour. The coward now drowns his sorrows in vodka. He's convinced that he fled because of the monster in the lake. Heh! Apparently the imbecile saw the monster, Himmelgott. So he went back on his tracks, abandoning all the automatons in Baranour as well as the people they were there to rescue.
Grandfather, I know you're still really angry with Captain Obo because he abandoned the automatons that you built with your friend Hans in Baranour. He was supposed to wait for them. They were going to take all the survivors they found in the rubble to the boat and then bring everyone here to safety in Valsembor. But in the end, when he got to the beach at Baranour and saw the disaster and all the dead, he became really afraid. The disease, the radiation, he must have had an uncontrollable panic attack, so he immediately turned back, dumped the machines on the Krystal into the lake, and came back empty-handed to Valsembor. And the automatons have been there ever since, in hell. But who knows? Maybe today he'll want to sell. I'm sure Kate will be capable of convincing him to help the Youkols. I have to go do my waitressing shift in the tavern. Come by and see me later on, okay? Captain Obo will be there.
All right then. I'll try and convince Captain Obo. Thank you for everything, Mr. Steiner.
I don't know if I really should wish you good luck, dear Miss Walker. Baranour is only an open grave now.